Hello. You see, the idea for this game, for doing this commentary, came about because I figured, we did King Kong. Yeah, it was set in like the 1930s, and it was based on a movie. And this is a game set in the 1940s, and it's also basically based on a movie. And also, instead of 2 commentators, we have 3, and oh my god.
I can't play Max Payne 3, where I couldn't for months at a time because of that stupid fucking system.
Yes, this is LA Noire. This is basically...
So this is a sequel to King Kong, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
This is the case of where they had to find the giant ape.
Yeah, it's basically based on LA Confidential.
I mean, I thought we were doing this so we could figure out the case of where the next part of Harry Potter is, but... well, I think we'll let that lie.
I know where it is.
That's not until way later on. That's in Vice.
That is in Vice.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to it.
I'm glad we found the downloadable content, though.
So yeah, I felt that we needed 3 commentators for this, because this is an absurdly long game. I mean...
and it's very much unlike... Rockstar does weird things on occasion.
Yeah. Well, you say Rockstar, but we'll get into how fucky this game's development was later, I guess.
Yeah, because Team Bondi has a bit of a sad history.
Yeah, 8 years. It took 8 years to make this game.
But they are still alive, and they're working on a title called Whore of the Orient, so... maybe second time's the charm?
So I chose Lime to be the 3rd commentator, because Lime, you play, stuff like Danganronpa and Phoenix, right?
And this is basically the same.
It is basically the same. This is like a modern adventure game.
And did you choose me for my stellar investigative work in True Crime Streets of LA? And, I mean, this game is basically a sequel. It's basically True Crime 3.
I mean, yeah.
And, you best not let sleeping dogs lie.
True. And hey, this obviously connects it to Red Dead Redemption.
I mean, that was a different channel, which you have to bleep out when I say different channel. It didn't happen, man. It might happen again
so,
one day.
listen, tell you, our just opening cutscene lasts a while for some reason. This big, long noir with an N-O-I-R, not an E at the end, narration.
Now, I didn't play much of this game myself, but I did watch a friend beat it start to finish and felt like we got the experience because we were talking about it when going through it, making decisions on the cases and such. Turns out we're very, very bad, and it's a good thing we're never going to become detectives. Because, modern times wouldn't actually help us with any investigative work. But one thing I kind of walked away from is, fucking LA is lovely in this game. You never get to do much with it, except just walk around and go, man, this place is fucking nice.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the odd thing about the fact this game has an open world. But, I mean... it's not like they could have just made it a level-to-level thing. I don't think that would have worked, because then you just have completely immersion breaking invisible walls all over the streets.
In the Marine Corps, you deal with the chain of command. Mistakes get made, but
it's better to have an open world than to have an empty world.
That's true. That's true. The 1940s was famously a very open society.
But a very empty world.
So who do you trust, Cole?
That's why there was a baby boom. It's like, man, it's too fucking empty around here.
Yeah.
We'll have to sacrifice some openness, get some folks in here, and then 50 years from now they can just fuck it all up.
Yeah. So, these tutorial sections, they don't really, there's 4 cases in the tutorial section. They don't really have a name. Like all the other 4 chapters of the game are based on desks in the LAPD office, so I will just call this Beat, because...
I think that is the general term, because, yeah, you're a beat cop in this section.
Yeah, and this first case is basically just to introduce you to the basics of investigating a crime scene and following up on leads.
I know you're trying your best to drive here, but I saw you hop that curb.
Yeah. I mean, we're cops, we're above the law.
He's also got to contend with the fact that LA is a very laggy city, which really holds the investigative work back and just makes the cars all unwieldy in that.
Yeah.
Were you going for a cinematic 24 FPS?
Yeah, I had to, all my settings were on max for this. I will fix that in traffic, don't worry. But for the first 2 parts, you'll have to deal with, the very cinematic 24 FPS.
I'm not expecting any miracles here.
That's actually another question I have about this. GTA 4's port was absolutely fucking abysmal. I could gripe about that for a long while, so if we ever need filler, I'll gripe about GTA 4. But, is this a good port?
It's better than GTA 4.
Probably right.
That's not hard. That's really not hard.
But, I mean, I never had any problems launching it, or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then, like, it wasn't awful. Like, the only reason this thing ran badly was because I was recording it.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
How many layers of DRM are we talking?
Steam and Social Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because 4 had amazing DRM. It was like some postmodern critique on DRM.
Yeah.
It's like, you launch it, then the Social Club opens, then the game launches, then fucking Microsoft Games Windows Live comes up. You just think, man, I'm impressed. You've done it.
So yeah, I don't want to pick through other people's trash, but no, Cole doesn't agree. Cole loves picking through other people's trash.
I can go for a beer.
So, yeah, that's basically how they increase difficulty, I guess, in these cases, is just littering a lot of junk around the crime scene.
Nothing significant.
So, well, you gotta have your red herrings.
Yeah.
And in an interactive medium, you can have all the red herring beer bottles you want. It's very, very considerate of this litterer to just, you know, fold it perfectly.
Yeah, these newspaper cutscenes here, they're optional. You don't have to, I'm gonna get them all, but, they're actually quite vital to the story. Honestly, they provide a lot of vital backstory to things that happen later on in the game.
The mind is the last great mystery in medicine. Are you thinking of specializing, Mr.
Sheldon? Courtney Sheldon. I'm only in second year, Doctor.
So they're on a case-by-case basis, because we don't actually... The main backstory we get is from the perspective of the main character and his experiences, well, 1940s, you can kind of guess where he was knocking about.
I mean, can you?
I mean, I can guess.
Can you guess?
I'll give you a hint, Lime. You're a weeb. You can kind of guess where he went, but he didn't go for the reason you would go.
He went Anime Lane. He went to Anime Lane.
He was fighting anime, real life anime.
I've been to visit some of the guys at the VA.
Another thing they did for this game was they had some incredible facial recognition, which kind of threw me off with one thing, because you got to look at their face to determine are they lying, telling the truth, or, you know, or you can doubt. You can kind of go, you can go a bit of a pansy and go the middle route.
Yeah, but the other thing too is the game came out, and as great as the facial animations were, modeling wasn't quite there yet.
Yep.
So the faces still look basically like they just put plastic over some kind of robot.
Well, there's the whole thing about you look at their face to tell if they're lying, but they're actors. They're all lying.
And so when they lie, they just lie
It's all
harder.
naturally lying.
Yeah. But I gotta say, Snake, I have issue with the fact that you call doubt the pansy middle of the road option. It is anything but the pansy middle of the road option.
We're never gonna find it. It's a waste of
They actually had different names in Black Bear Production. I know one of them was like Coax and Force were the original names for like doubt and lie, which is a lot. If you think about it, that makes a lot more sense for some of these dialogue choices, doesn't it?
And honestly, I think it was like because like they do like if you actually look at like the psychology of lying and like how they work into facial expressions here, it actually is quite accurate to how real people lie. But I do appreciate that they went to that extent. But honestly, I don't know. I've always felt like it was more rewarding in like it's sort of investigation kind of games where figuring out if someone was lying or telling the truth was done by just paying attention to the story.
Hell of a way to go.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter how you go once you're gone.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, that does happen. Again, your experience with this game is far, far more greater than mine, but isn't that the case that quite a few of these can be picked out by, like, calling out, you know, things that don't quite fit? Like, stories not
yeah,
matching
but
up
when
and
you
such?
do that, there's some issue with what Cole thinks and what, when you select evidence for lying and what you think.
Let's just stare at that for a while.
Just take it in. Oh man, I really liked it.
I kept controller vibrates and think, ooh, shiny, and it just
Up on the roof, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot that's how it is in this game, because it is just a controller prompt, like, the little detectors in his shoes just go off. I feel a hint.
Got parkour in this game?
Oh yeah, this is actually an Assassin's Creed-esque game, believe it or not.
I'm out. I'm done. How did it get here? 2 revolvers? What kind of ostentatious murder was this?
Smith & Wesson, serial S71893.
But yeah, it's not just controller vibrations, actually. If you don't have a controller, for example, you can still rely on
2 rounds fired.
music chimes whenever you're near.
Our shooter.
Oh yeah, I was thinking, because you played this on PC, but you've plugged the controller in.
Yeah.
I'll keep that.
Follow up on this now.
It's mine now.
Before the perp tries to leave town.
Could come in handy for the action sequences, he thinks.
We have the gun, Cole.
Why you enjoy the Phoenix Wright games, don't you?
We could get a
Yes.
How much better would they have been if you could just bust out
That's a
a
long
revolver
shot,
every
Cole.
now and then and
pretty fancy
shoot
gun.
gangsters?
You know a local gun store?
Probably a lot better.
There's a place a
I mean,
couple of
yeah,
blocks from here.
just an instant button to swap to gumshoe and just murder people.
Actually, that's the thing. How do you trigger objection in the game? Is it just a button press?
You have to present the evidence first, but otherwise, yeah, basically it's just a button press.
No harm in doing some
Okay, so you can build that into already existing mechanics. If you hold the button down, then you whip out the revolver, and that is an objection.
You'd rather round up drunks than help old ladies across the road?
I'd rather get through the day without the captain's foot up my
I honestly, like,
It'll be
I
fine.
joke about
You worry.
the Phoenix Wright thing, but honestly, it's not that bad a comparison for how the game is structured. Only difference is that Cole's a police officer, so he's actually supposed to be going through the crime scene.
That's actually something I want to bring up, and it is kind of a spoiler. But you never, like, have a court scene in this game, do you? Like, or one where you're presenting
No,
and kind of...
you never...
Which I found to be disappointing. I was expecting, like, a court scene.
Be the expert witness.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, well, I will say, like, the open world, like, you never have any reason to go, like, exploring. Like, the only things that are out there are these, like, golden film reels, and which, you know, don't actually unlock anything. They're just there to be collectibles, and, like, hidden garages that have cars in them that you can drive.
That's a little disappointing.
Other than that, the only reason to actually go off the beaten path is, whenever a random crime appears, which we'll get into later.
Whoa!
Yeah, took a shortcut.
I mean, oh, they're gonna dock your pay for that. The shortcut, I mean. There are no shortcuts in police work.
I mean, especially when you go around causing destruction.
Yeah, who's going to investigate that? If this game actually did want to punish you, they'd make you investigate your own traffic violations.
That is funny. You bring up that the game wanted to punish you. It rarely ever does.
Well, you get ranked. But
yeah, that's the thing. Like, this game, aside from, like, the action scenes, this game has no, there's no game over aside from the action scenes. Like, even if you completely fuck up a case, like, if you get all the interrogations wrong, if you, like, pick up the bare minimum of the clues you have to pick up to continue, the game will still find a way to progress the cases along to the point where you get the guy in the end. And the only difference is how you go about getting to that point and what your rank is at the end.
Chambered for 357.
And even then, about the action scenes, if you fail them 3 times, you're just granted they just let you skip them.
Yeah, they allow you to just skip it.
You seem to know a lot about the weapon.
I ought to. I sold it.
So, like, this game is really just made for people who don't really care about action whatsoever.
Yeah.
It is just a story. And I judge beyond Two Souls.
And, I mean, I guess you could consider the fact that, you know, cases can go less than optimally for you as a failure state, but, I mean... And I guess, like, I don't know what the solution would be. Like, what would be the point of giving you a game over for failing an investigation? I mean,
you get fired and force, you actually accuse the wrong person. That would be a bit more work, because there are multiple perps.
Yeah.
But you just naturally always get the right guy.
Also, yeah.
Just tap your finger on.
You just click all over until he taps the right one and goes, I feel it. This is mine. This is the guy. A fucking tap button.
Been a big help. Anytime.
Yeah.
Always happy to help out the LAPD.
Imagine if ping pong had the same design philosophy. You couldn't lose a match. You just kept going at the balls until you got 21 points, and then you won.
Yeah. Do you have ping pong on the mind because you've been watching an anime?
I watched that ages ago. I have ping pong on the mind because we're playing a Rockstar game. It's a good show, though.
So, yeah. But going back to the whole idea of the fact that you can't really get a game over in a case, it does also kind of mean that the cases all have, you know, different ways of branching out. Like, they all have the same endpoint and the same starting point, but the way you get to these endpoints and starting points differ wildly depending on how well you do. And yeah, now just fuck everything.
I've probably already lost my badge.
I like how he's talking about taking the initiative just when you're in uniform as you're mowing down streetlights.
Gotta get that perp! Gotta go!
The infrastructure won't stop. Oh, but Mother Nature did. Maybe the tree was in on it.
The game actually gives you like a property damage score, and a vehicular damage and city damage score at the end of each case. I think there's an achievement for going by with like a really small amount, and an achievement for getting by with like a ridiculously high amount.
Which one are you going for?
Well...
I mean, you might still be relatively low. How much is a few street lamps?
Yeah. And yeah, I kind of fucked up here in my attempt to like take a bunch of different shortcuts because I wound up getting to this fucking construction yard.
Please just let your partner drive for you.
You can't do that yet.
Oh, only detectives learn. Maybe I can ask questions.
You don't get that. You don't get to unlock that skill yet.
Just gotta see if the engine's doing all right.
You have to invest in that skill tree.
Yeah, turns out I gotta go on a stupid bridge.
He's trying to stop you. Arrest that man. He's running away, he's resisting.
Yeah, you can't actually completely wreck your car, in which case you will have to just go to a random car on the street, tell the person to get out, and commandeer it.
So you can destroy that car.
If you're being safe, you know, on one of these cases, could you just walk the whole case? And we'll see how long it takes. We'll just talk about LA.
You know what's funny about it? I think if I did that, because, you know, you're supposed to get in the car because that's where you talk to your partner about, like, the case and, you know, the new lead and stuff. I think if you, like, walk there, eventually, like, there is, like, I think what they do is, like, your partner just, like, catches a fucking cab and, like catches up with you on scene or something, or he drives the car himself and gets to you. It's pretty great. Like, your partner refuses to walk with you.
What lazy bastards.
It's good for them, don't they know that?
Yeah. So yeah, if I did wreck the car, you can just, yeah, you essentially can just steal cars like in GTA, but it's legal because you're a police officer and no one will call you on it.
I think, well, we're not going to mess with that. He probably wrecked it in the pursuit of justice.
Yeah. See, it's a good thing we rushed here. It's almost 11. He'll never know we were coming.
And if he leaves, he wouldn't be able to identify the streets by night since all the fucking light posts are out.
Also, yeah, controlling Cole on foot is not ideal.
Does it have the same issue that the GTAs have, where he's kind of like heavy and stumbly?
Yeah, he plays like a car on feet.
Nice.
Gotta look again, gotta double check, make sure, these perps, they're wily. He might have, like, slipped his name, switched his name with someone else.
Knew you were coming.
Yeah.
I mean, stupid of him to give up his revolvers, really, if you think about it.
Wilshire Division. You're the owner of a Smith & Wesson Model 27, nickel-plated with pearl grips?
I might be. What of it?
Then you'll be surprised to know that Scooter Payton was murdered tonight with your gun.
Look at Ralph over there trying to look composing.
Works for me.
I contributed. Could we hurry this up? He's my ride home.
No way. You're not taking me down for this.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I forgot about melee combat.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I mean, you seem to have him on the ropes.
I'm
pretty
gonna
awkward.
get in a few punches. Also, look at Ralph over there.
Yeah, he gets up, he looks, he's like, nah, I ain't getting involved in this. I don't like it.
You started.
Schroeder, do you have anything to drink?
Throw in some counters. You gotta work on your combo strings, man. I feel if you cancel out of punches, you'll be able to hit way faster.
Yeah. Good job, Cole.
You did it.
Also, yeah, they still have, like, the facial animations, even when not in investigation or cutscenes, but it's just completely the default face that they have. So, yeah.
They didn't, like, get them in their mocap suit and, like, hit them around with a baseball bat or something. It's like, oh, maybe this will replicate it.
Yeah. Also, look at the way he's holding that gun.
It's really casual.
Like, his arm's fucking straining, holding it out like that. Like, you can see it, like, shaking. It's like,
Some poor animator didn't have, like, any mocap or anything to go off of, so he's like, how do people hold guns?
Also, you gotta pick up your hat. There's an achievement for that, actually, the first time you do that. Pick up your hat after a brawl.
Can you do a hat? Is there, like, an achievement for getting through his whole game without losing the hat once? I know you're not wearing a hat in every scene, but...
I don't think there's an achievement for that. I think you actually have to lose your hat in this first brawl. That's a scripted hat loss.
It's really cheap, Rockstar. You don't think about these things.
Yeah.
Put me in charge of your achievements, you'll have hat
His
runs.
name's in a series of numbers. Floyd Rose's name is in this book.
Phelps, we can come out of this all bright and shiny with a commendation. Or stick our schlongs in a hornet's nest. Call it in, partner. And leave the book
fun.
where you found it.
Okay, so if you haven't got it yet, Cole Phelps' whole deal is he's quite prideful and a bit ambitious.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he's going for.
And he's an
That's not
honest cop.
Incorruptible.
Yeah.
Or is he?
And, yeah. We'll see how he fares in the corrupt LAPD of the 1940s.
It was really smoky back then.
Yeah.
Everyone had a kind of haze. A military drum roll hanged over LA.
Also, everybody could only see through a fisheye lens.
You dumb fucking sons of bitches, get in this line
The
now
corners
before
of
I make
everything
life
were
hell.
very dark.
Excuse me, fuck you. You say another
Drill
word,
sergeants roaming the streets yelling at hapless civilians as they boarded buses. What could it all mean?
So yeah, this
thinks
cutscene
Phelps.
establishes Cole's past and his two main war buddies.
Who are you two?
Who become sort of major characters later on.
The three fucking stooges, and
He
you're
was
here
friends
for
with Abbott and
OCS.
Costello?
God help this fucking country in the USMC.
Now, I know Ubisoft forces characters into it, but I think that's a bit much, Rockstar. You don't quite have the same groundswell.
Phelps. Kelso.
Merrill. Any other gentlemen for OCS? OCS is at Elliott.
So yeah, this is how they met. They met when they all went to the completely wrong bus on their way to join the service.
So they're united by being fuck-ups.
How embarrassing.
Yeah, also this is a loading screen. It's just a random picture of LA in black and white.
Well, you picked the right place, Cole.
Now, a lot of developers send, you know, their guys out on the grounds when they're doing a free roaming game set in a city. So did Rockstar really send people to 1940s LA to get reference pictures?
Yes!
I mean, they possibly did. They've never denied that they haven't.
That's dedication.
It is dedication.
Okay, so this case introduces us to gunplay, which is very basic, and this is basically introducing you to stuff that'll mostly happen in the random crimes.
It's only a couple blocks from
Now, for those who've played like LA Noire but no other games, shooting people is basically like the sincerest expression of doubt in a human being you can have.
That was no wonder Cole's so good at it.
Yeah.
It's a firm expression of disbelief.
Yeah. Also, yeah, whenever you're in a police car, you can turn the siren on at any time, and it actually does have a gameplay effect. Cars will actually avoid you when you have it on, so you can drive fast safely.
Oh, I thought he was gonna ramp that.
Oh, no. You actually can ramp like some streets in LA actually. In this game, it's
nice.
Pretty cool.
Do you get like a stunt bonus, like in the GTAs, that gives you like that actually aids your score? Like, well, you may have taken out a lamppost or two, but detective, I saw that sweet fucking jump.
Now,
Ace detective.
Now, basically, the way like all these combat encounters work, especially like with the random crimes, is that whenever you get out of the car, you have a pistol. You always have a pistol, and you can pick up whatever the enemies drop when you kill them, and there's always a shotgun in the trunk of your car.
Always.
Yeah. I generally prefer to stick with the pistol coming out of the car. I mean, the shotgun's not that useful for most combat scenarios.
If you take a car, does it still have the shotgun?
Huh?
Like, if you commandeer someone else's car, does it still have the shotgun?
I'm not sure. I don't think so, actually. I mean, first off,
because that would be great.
I mean, first off, if you commandeer someone's car and it's not a police car, then you don't get to do random crimes because you don't have a police radio.
That would be great if the implication that everyone in 1940s LA just drove around with shotguns on the back of their car.
Should be all clear.
Then you got a statistic in the game like shotguns commandeered. Like, well, you stole a shotgun off Mr. Peterson, so we're gonna have to dock your pay, Cole.
Man couldn't ask for a better partner.
So yeah, you seem to be having a bit of trouble getting into cover in a bit of that gunfight.
The FPS was the right bumper to go into cover, and I don't know, for some reason sometimes this doesn't want to do it. Cole has to be like right up against it before he wants to get intimate.
This kind of opportunity.
Like, outside of Max Payne 3, I can't think of a modern Rockstar game where I really like the shooting. GTA 5 is serviceable. Red Dead Redemption is okay. Like, if you fucking spam the hell out of Deadeye. But even then, Max Payne 3 is the only one I played where I had free aim on and was completely happy with it.
What about the other two Max Paynes?
Max Payne 1 and 2, well, those are Remedy.
Oh.
And I said modern Rockstar games.
Right.
I'm not talking like SD, Grand Theft Auto.
Gotcha.
Our duty is to lead, Kelso.
But like, with Red Dead, it always felt a little bit loose, so I always had it on lock. GTA 5's on a PC, so a bit more forgivable.